Have you ever checked the odds on Monday for a big game and then looked again on a Sunday and thought, why did it move? Who's changing the numbers? What does this all mean? Well, today, we'll pull back the curtain on how sportsbooks set the lines, why the line moves, and what it means when you see the line shift after a big bet comes in. I'm Jovani with Sharp Syndicate, and if you want to think like a sharp bettor and not just chase picks, you need to understand that odds you see are not static. They're a part of a living market that reacts to information, money, and risk. By the end of this video, you know how lines originate, why they move, and what moves can tell you about sharp money. Let's start at the beginning, the opening line. Most opening lines don't come from every sportsbook. They come from a small group of market-making sportsbook, the books that have the confidence and the tools to set the first numbers. These odds makers use a mix of team power rankings, advanced stats, injury reports, and historical data to make their best estimate on what the true price should be. But here's the key. That opening line is not a prediction. It's just a starting point. This is why there are lower limits with opening lines. Right after open, professional bettors, the sharps, often jump in if they think that line is off. Their early bets force the books to adjust. Once that early market settles, the rest of the sportsbooks copy or shade their numbers to match. Think of it like the stock market. The opening price is just the start of this conversation. It's not the final word. We still have work to do and everybody has to agree on what the line should be. So, why do lines move? Well, there's a couple different reasons. One easy one to kind of point out is injury news. Let's say Patrick Mahomes goes down for the week during practice, or let's say there's bad weather in the forecast, heavy winds or snow. That line will quickly move. But one of the main reasons is market money. Heavy, respected sharp money can push a line even if there's no news, because that book respects that bettor's information and wants to balance their risk. They understand that sharps are able to accumulate a wealth of information and understand that they're making decisions and they're putting down bets because that line is too soft. Lines don't just move by magic. They move because new information or significant money enters that market. Money moves markets. One of the most valuable skills you can develop is telling sharp money apart from public money. Here's some differences. Sharps bet early, often on numbers that move right after they bet. Public money tends to come in late, often on favorites or overs or a popular team. Sometimes you'll see what's called reverse line movement. That's when the majority of tickets are all on one side, but the line moves the other way. That's often a signal that sharp money is coming against the public. Here's a pro tip for you. Instead of reacting to every line change, focus on tracking when and why it moves. If a line shifts early in the week, especially within the first 12 to 24 hours of it opening, it often means sharp bettors saw some value. Public money tends to push lines later in the week, often on popular teams or overs. Sharps look for early moves, backed by information, not hype. That's often where the real edge lives. Line movement isn't just noise, it's information. It reflects the real-time sentiment of the market. This back and forth between sharps and the book continues until the market finds what we call equilibrium, a nice soft landing point, a number that both sides respect. That equilibrium is often very close to the final closing line, the last number before the game starts. The closer a bettor's wager is to the closing line, the more accurately they're pricing the market. The goal isn't just to pick the right team, it's to beat the closing number. A key concept sharps use is closing line value, getting a better number than the final line before the game starts. Consistently beating the closing line is one of the most reliable indicators of long-term success. That's why sharps could care less about yesterday's win-loss record and more about whether they consistently locked in value before that line closed. Now you understand how lines originate, why they move, and how to recognize the signs of sharp money. In the next video, we'll talk about how to apply this knowledge, from shopping for the best lines, tracking closing line value, or COV, and one of the most important metrics, long-term profit. I'm Jovani from Sharp Syndicate, and remember, most people bet for fun. We bet for freedom. I'll catch you on that next one.